What if the reason she isn't interested in you has nothing to do with your looks, your money, or your status? What if attraction isn't something you chase, but something you quietly create? Because the truth most men never learn is this: desire doesn't start when you impress a woman. It starts when you make her feel something she didn't expect. Most men believe attraction is something you convince a woman to feel. They try harder, talk more, compliment more, and give more attention, hoping she will eventually change her mind. But attraction rarely works that way. Desire is not created by effort alone. It is created by emotional experience. When a woman suddenly feels curiosity, comfort, excitement, and intrigue around you, something begins to shift inside her. She may not even understand why, but the emotional atmosphere you create around her slowly reshapes how she sees you. Now the speech begins. A man who constantly tries to prove himself usually loses the game before it even begins. When you chase approval, you silently communicate that you need her validation to feel valuable. And the moment that happens, attraction weakens. Confidence does not come from trying to be impressive. It comes from being comfortable with who you are, regardless of how someone reacts to you. When a man is relaxed in his own presence, people feel it immediately. His voice becomes calmer, his movements slow down. He listens instead of rushing to fill silence. That kind of presence creates a subtle emotional safety that most people rarely experience. Women are highly sensitive to emotional atmosphere, and when they feel calm around a man who isn't trying too hard, curiosity begins to replace indifference. Curiosity is the spark that often awakens desire. If a woman feels she already understands everything about you, her mind has no reason to explore further. But when a man reveals himself slowly, showing different layers of personality over time, he becomes far more interesting than someone who tries to show everything at once. Mystery does not mean playing games or hiding your personality. It means having a life that does not revolve around her approval. When you have passions, goals, and direction in your life, you naturally become more attractive because your identity exists independently of her reaction. People are drawn toward those who already feel complete. Another powerful element of attraction is emotional awareness. Many men try to impress women with logic, stories, or achievements. But what truly creates connection is the ability to understand emotions. When you pay attention to how she feels rather than only what she says, you begin to respond in ways that make her feel seen and understood. That emotional understanding builds a sense of closeness that is difficult to fake. It shows that you are not simply trying to win her over, you are actually present with her experience. And when someone feels deeply understood, their emotional walls begin to soften. Attraction also grows when a woman feels freedom around you. If she senses pressure, expectations, or desperation, her instincts will push her away. But when she feels that she can simply be herself without needing to impress you, the emotional dynamic changes. Suddenly, she becomes the one trying to understand you better. This is one of the biggest shifts that creates desire. The moment a woman begins investing emotional energy into figuring you out, attraction quietly grows in the background. It is no longer about convincing her to like you. It becomes about the emotional space you create that allows her curiosity and feelings to develop naturally. The way you make a woman feel often matters more than anything you say. A man who makes a woman feel relaxed, intrigued, respected, and emotionally stimulated will stay in her mind long after the conversation ends. She may not remember every word you spoke, but she will remember the emotional experience of being around you. And that emotional memory is powerful. Because when someone associates you with a feeling that is rare and meaningful, their perception of you slowly begins to change. Instead of trying to force attraction, the real skill is learning how to create the conditions where attraction can grow on its own. When you stop chasing validation, carry yourself with calm confidence, stay connected to your own life, and truly understand emotions, something subtle begins to happen. The woman who once felt indifferent toward you may start noticing things she never saw before. Your presence feels different, your conversations feel different, and without realizing exactly when it happened, the emotional distance between you begins to shrink. Not because you forced desire into existence, but because you created an experience she didn't expect, and now she wants to feel it again. Many men believe the key to winning a woman's interest is gaining her approval. They try to impress her with compliments, constant attention, or by agreeing with everything she says. At first, it may seem polite or kind, but in reality, this behavior often weakens attraction. When a man is constantly seeking approval, he silently communicates that he needs validation. This creates an imbalance where he is trying to earn attention instead of naturally attracting it. True attraction often begins when a man stops chasing approval and starts creating emotional curiosity. Curiosity is powerful because it activates the imagination. When someone becomes curious about you, they start thinking about you even when you are not around. Their mind begins asking questions. Who is this person really? What else is there to discover about him? Emotional curiosity is created through authenticity and calm confidence. When you speak honestly, share your thoughts naturally, and are not afraid to express your personality, people sense that you are comfortable with yourself. This confidence removes the pressure from the interaction and makes conversations feel more genuine. Instead of trying to impress, you focus on creating an interesting and engaging exchange. Another important part of curiosity is not revealing everything about yourself all at once. When someone slowly discovers different sides of your personality, the interaction becomes more intriguing. You may share a unique perspective, a surprising sense of humor, or a thoughtful observation that makes the conversation memorable. These small moments create emotional sparks that stay in her mind. Curiosity also grows when you show interest in her world without appearing desperate for her attention. Asking thoughtful questions and listening carefully shows that you value connection rather than validation. This creates a dynamic where the conversation feels balanced and natural. When you stop trying to gain approval and instead focus on creating curiosity, the entire energy of the interaction changes. Instead of feeling like she is being convinced to like you, she begins exploring her own interest in you. And often, that quiet sense of curiosity is what slowly transforms indifference into attraction. Presence is one of the most powerful qualities a person can have, yet it is also one of the most overlooked. Many men believe attraction comes from saying the right words, telling the best stories, or constantly trying to impress a woman. But in reality, the emotional energy you bring into a moment often matters far more than the words you speak. Presence means being fully aware, calm, and grounded in the moment rather than distracted, anxious, or trying too hard to control the interaction. When a man is truly present, people can feel it immediately. His attention is not scattered, and he is not rushing to prove himself. Instead, he listens carefully, observes small details, and responds naturally. This creates a sense of ease that others find comforting. In a world where most people are distracted by their phones, their thoughts, or their insecurities, someone who is fully present stands out in a quiet but powerful way. Calm confidence works closely with presence. Confidence does not always mean speaking loudly, dominating conversations, or trying to appear superior. True confidence often appears much quieter. It shows in relaxed body language, steady eye contact, and a calm tone of voice. A confident man does not feel the need to force attention toward himself because he is already comfortable with who he is. This calm energy has a strong psychological effect on people, especially in social situations. When someone appears relaxed and self-assured, it naturally signals emotional stability. Humans are naturally drawn toward individuals who seem emotionally balanced because it creates a sense of safety and trust. A woman may not consciously analyze this feeling, but she will often sense that being around this kind of person feels comfortable and natural. Another important aspect of calm confidence is patience. Many men feel the urge to fill every moment of silence with words because silence can feel uncomfortable. However, a man who is comfortable with small pauses in conversation shows that he is not nervous or desperate for approval. Silence, when handled calmly, can actually strengthen presence because it allows both people to relax and feel the moment rather than rushing through it. Calm confidence also comes from having a strong sense of self outside of the interaction. When a man has his own goals, interests, and direction in life, he does not depend on someone else's reaction to feel valuable. This independence creates a subtle sense of intrigue. It shows that he enjoys connection, but does not rely on it to define his self-worth. Over time, this combination of presence and calm confidence creates a unique emotional experience. Conversations feel smoother, interactions feel more genuine, and the atmosphere becomes more relaxed. Instead of trying to manufacture attraction through effort, the man simply becomes someone who naturally draws people in. When a woman experiences this kind of presence, she often feels more comfortable expressing herself. She may open up more easily, laugh more naturally, and feel emotionally relaxed. Attraction often grows in these moments because the connection feels effortless rather than forced. In the end, natural attraction rarely comes from trying to be impressive. It comes from the quiet strength of someone who is fully present, emotionally steady, and comfortable in their own identity. That calm confidence speaks louder than any attempt to impress, and it leaves a lasting impression that words alone cannot create. Mystery and independence are powerful qualities that naturally increase how someone is perceived. When a man appears to have his own life, interests, and direction, he becomes more intriguing. People are naturally curious about individuals who seem comfortable standing on their own. This independence sends a subtle message that his happiness and identity do not depend entirely on someone else's approval. Many men make the mistake of revealing everything about themselves too quickly when they are trying to impress someone. They talk about every detail of their life, their plans, and their feelings all at once. While honesty is important, revealing too much too soon can remove the sense of discovery that makes interactions exciting. When everything is known immediately, curiosity disappears, and the conversation can lose its emotional spark. Mystery does not mean being distant or playing games. Instead, it means allowing people to discover different layers of your personality over time. When someone gradually learns about your thoughts, experiences, and passions, the interaction becomes more engaging. Each conversation feels like a new opportunity to uncover something interesting, rather than repeating predictable patterns. Independence strengthens this effect because it shows that you are not constantly seeking attention. A man who has his own goals, routines, and ambitions naturally communicates value without needing to say it directly. He enjoys connection with others, but his life continues moving forward whether someone is watching or not. This quiet confidence often captures attention more effectively than trying to prove worth through words. Another important aspect of independence is emotional balance. When a man does not appear overly dependent on someone's response, it removes pressure from the interaction. The conversation feels lighter and more natural. Instead of feeling like she must respond a certain way, a woman experiences freedom within the connection. Over time, this combination of mystery and independence creates intrigue. It encourages curiosity, keeps conversations fresh, and allows attraction to develop gradually. When someone feels that there is always more to discover about you, their interest tends to grow naturally rather than fading quickly. Emotional awareness is one of the most powerful yet underestimated qualities in human connection. Many people focus only on the words being spoken in a conversation, but emotions often communicate far more than language. Emotional awareness means being able to notice subtle feelings, shifts in tone, body language, and the energy of a moment. When someone develops this ability, interactions become deeper and more meaningful. For many women, feeling understood emotionally is extremely important. It creates a sense of comfort and trust that goes beyond surface-level conversation. When a man is emotionally aware, he does not simply wait for his turn to speak or try to impress with stories. Instead, he listens carefully and pays attention to the emotional message behind the words. This shows genuine interest rather than performance. Sometimes a woman may share a story that seems simple on the surface, but the feeling behind it may be frustration, excitement, or vulnerability. When someone acknowledges that feeling with empathy, it creates a powerful sense of connection. A simple response that shows you understand how she feels can make her feel valued and respected. Emotional awareness also involves patience. Instead of interrupting or quickly offering solutions, an emotionally aware person allows space for someone to express themselves fully. This creates an environment where a woman feels safe sharing her thoughts and emotions without fear of being dismissed or misunderstood. Another important aspect is reading the emotional atmosphere of the moment. There are times when humor lightens the mood, times when supportive words are needed, and times when quiet listening is the most meaningful response. Being able to sense these moments naturally makes conversations flow more comfortably. When a woman feels emotionally understood, something important happens. She begins to relax and open up more. Trust slowly grows, and the interaction becomes more authentic. Rather than feeling like a simple exchange of words, the conversation turns into a shared emotional experience. Over time, this ability to understand and respond to emotions builds a deeper connection. It shows maturity, empathy, and awareness, qualities that often leave a lasting impression long after the conversation ends. People often believe they are remembered because of the things they say, the stories they tell, or the achievements they share. But in reality, human memory works very differently. Most people do not remember every detail of a conversation. Instead, They remember how that interaction made them feel. Emotions create stronger and longer-lasting memories than words alone. When a woman thinks back about someone she met, her mind usually returns to the emotional atmosphere of that moment. Did she feel relaxed, appreciated, curious, or energized? Or did she feel pressured, bored, or uncomfortable? These emotional impressions quietly shape the way she remembers a person. This is why the emotional experience you create during an interaction matters so much. A man who brings calm energy, genuine interest, and positive emotion into a conversation often leaves a deeper impression than someone who simply tries to impress with facts or achievements. When a conversation feels natural and enjoyable, the memory of that feeling stays long after the words fade away. Small details can influence this emotional memory. A warm smile, attentive listening, and thoughtful responses can create a sense of comfort and respect. When someone feels that their thoughts and emotions are valued, they associate that positive feeling with the person they are speaking to. Over time, this emotional association becomes stronger. Another important element is authenticity. When someone behaves naturally instead of trying too hard to perform or impress, the interaction feels more genuine. Authentic energy allows the other person to relax and be themselves as well. This mutual comfort often leads to more meaningful conversations and memorable moments. Humans are naturally drawn toward experiences that make them feel good. When a woman connects your presence with feelings like curiosity, ease, or emotional warmth, those feelings shape how she remembers you later. Even if time passes and specific details are forgotten, the emotional memory remains. In many ways, attraction grows not from what someone hears, but from what they feel during the experience of.